Hey, it's Jordan. Delighted to be joined by Anthony. And you reached out to me. It's kind of an interesting story because a lot of people are only focused on the people that are about to lose unemployment through COVID and the Democrats and Republicans treachery. But there's kind of other stories that people might not realize. So you and your wife really had kind of crisis a couple years ago come. You've been dealing with it since then. And because of that crisis, you've been really relying on the help of family. But because of COVID, that help is no longer possible. Can you kind of start from the beginning? What happened with your wife and what have you been dealing with lately?
Well, we moved to the city in 2014. She taught Latin and ancient Greek. She got a degree in classics, stuff like that. In 2014, while she was teaching, there was a fight. She got hit in the head, went to the hospital, all that stuff. And then we found out she had the disease. It runs in the family. It was a 50-50 shot. Um, as
What,
soon as
and
that,
what was that disease?
it's ataxia, spinal spelodora ataxia. It's a degenerative genetic disease that like slowly takes you. But anyway, she got that. She slowly started deteriorating. Within a year, she couldn't walk, and then within 2 years, like within a year, she's fully handicapped, and then within 2 years, she was completely incapacitated and couldn't talk or anything. Hold on one second, I gotta get her. I apologize.
Yeah, no problem.
It's hold on, baby. Got a protein shake. So when that happened, I ended up. I did a lot of jobs. I got my A+ certification to fix computers in '99 right a year before I graduated high school. I worked in Manhattan doing networking and stuff like that. Um,
And
got my degree.
how old was your wife when all this happened?
This happened 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So I was, well, I'm 38 now, so I was 32. She was like 29,
Wow.
28, 29. So when that happened, um, thank God my parents were there because they helped us out and stuff. But we had a really hard time with her family. I can go into it. It's, her history is insane. Uh, from her whole family situation. Her sister was shaken by the babysitter, and when she was just a baby, and her sister died when she was 21. She lost her uncle and her father in high school to the disease. Um, so she's had a lot of loss, and the family suffered a lot, and it caused a lot of mental problems for everybody. So that all happened. So yeah, my family's been helping out with us. My parents were helping me with a little bit that they had from their income. But when COVID happened, that income stopped. So so now we couldn't. I haven't been able to cover rent for the last 2 months. We're going to get evicted on the 31st. So and because of that, now I have to like pack up and clean and do all these things, and it's very difficult because my parents can't really help me right now because they're like selling the house and showing the house, so that they can go take that money and move down to the Carolinas so that they can retire and all that stuff. Um, so with taking care of her, it's been it's a full-time thing. Uh, from um, uh, from so I do all the cooking, I do all the cleaning. She needs 24/7 support. I have to sit by her all the time. There's a lot of days I only get like 2 or 3 hours of sleep at a time because she'll wake up and cry, and I gotta reset her head or reset her feet or leg. I have to help her go to the bathroom. I mean, it's a lot. So, you know, I mean, emotionally, it's like every year is like another gut punch from some direction. You never know where, and like that's felt. But I understand it's like that for a lot of people, especially around here. Um, yeah, yeah. So now I'm trying to figure out where we're gonna stay. If I can get to stay with family, it's gonna be hard with the situation because I have to put pads underneath there because she wets herself and she goes to the bathroom and stuff. And I have to clean her up. So you got to set it up a certain way. Um, it's hard to travel with her because you can only travel for like a little bit before she starts crying. It's just really tough on her.
Just so my audience understands, this illness she has, is it a neurological thing? What kind of illness is it?
It's a genetic disease. It's basically there's a loop in the DNA, and what happens is something keeps looping in the genetics, where everything in the body starts deteriorating, from the brain to the muscles to the organs. There's all different types of ataxia. She has a certain one. I know that when they found out the father had it, the mother could have got her tested, but decided not to because she couldn't handle it. So, I mean, my recommendation is if you're dealing with this, especially with a kid, I'm sorry. Baby, hold on, I'll be right there. 1 second. I apologize.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, if you have a kid or it runs in your family and you have a chance to get it tested as young as possible, so that they know if they have it or not. So that way, their time on the planet they can use in their way and not waste it on something frivolous. Unfortunately, we didn't know until it happened.
And just so I understand, you've basically had to stop working because this is a full-time job, basically being the caretaker for your wife. So you were getting help from your parents, but because of COVID, your parents have economically hurt.
Yeah.
So they can't help you anymore.
Yeah. So I'm 3 months back in rent. I've barely been able to cover the phone bill. So, we eat what we can, a lot of bread and chicken and rice, mostly. But yeah, they couldn't, they just told me they don't have any money anymore. So they have to wait to sell the house to even, they have $30 in the bank right now. And, they're in their, 70s and like mid 70s, early 70s, my parents. So,
And did they lose their job during COVID, or what happened that they can't help you anymore?
My dad used to run a pizzeria, and then what happened was during the recession and stuff, it was ended up becoming too expensive to run. So they basically ended up selling it. He didn't get that. He didn't get what he put into it because it was costing more money than it was to run it. So then he ended up selling that. And then that money ran out, taking care of my mom and my sisters and stuff. And I guess me a little bit too. I try to fix computers or do stuff when I can, but I can't even go for you guys. I mean, COVID, we all have been locked in and stuff, and I understand it's been hard. It's been hard for the last couple of months. I've been basically quarantined for like almost 4 or 5 years because I can't really go that far. Yeah, that's why. So I got to be here constantly. My radius is basically an avenue one way and an avenue other way. So that's why I like here, is because I can walk down the block, grab something, come right back. With COVID, it makes it a little bit harder because running to the grocery store, there's a line now. So it takes 45 minutes to get into the grocery store. But, I can't leave her for 45 minutes.
And what other than the help you were getting from your parents, do you get disability, Medicaid? What are you surviving on?
Getting Social Security. And then we also had a rental house that was her others from when he passed away. And the only reason that Sarah was able to get that is because her family had to fight her to make sure her mom didn't take it. One second. So yeah, we had that rental money coming in, but that rental money stopped. You know, that was like $750 a month to help with everything, and then my parents would help with a little bit of the top. So, you know, that stopped a couple months ago because they haven't been able to pay for the rental house. So, and you know, it's a small house in Florida, but under Alabama, that part. One second, baby, I'm right here. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm trying to find some way to get something to the landlord so I could stay a couple extra months, so that way I have time to get out of here. Or else it's it's too tough.
And where would you go?
Um, I mean I wanted to go back to my parents. I mean, they have a little bit of room, but I don't know the place that they're getting in the Carolinas is going to be big enough. But I was gonna go back there. Just it's just gonna be hard on everybody because you know it's a lot. You know, and that taking care of her is I love her so much, and it kills me every time. But like I want to be there every time she cries. I want to make sure she's always okay. I always make sure that she knows that I'm there. She can't see that well, so you know she couldn't see before the whole thing. You know, she had bad eyes and stuff, but now with this, it's hard to wear glasses and stuff. So she, you know, doesn't really know what's going on. When I communicate with her, we do it in blinks. You know, I say blink for this or blink for that. Blink if you need me to move your head and all that stuff. So that's how I know she's still cognitive, knows what's going on. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure.
And you haven't been eligible for unemployment considering you haven't been working, but you have been
And on
working. It's
top of
just
that,
full-time caretaker.
and on top of that, the way they do it is like you can't be the significant other to get paid for for being like a full-time care worker. Because I looked into it, and the only way like her, you'd have to be like the sister or the mother or something like that. You can't be the husband or the wife, which is ridiculous for because every family situation is different. You know.
So under state unemployment law, you can't get the unemployment even though
I
you're
can't get. I haven't worked.
right.
I.
But you can't
So
work is the
therefore,
point because you're a full-time caretaker for your wife.
yeah,
Right.
I can't collect either way.
Wow. Unbelievable. And, how are you? I mean, I see you, just it's 24/7, never ending. How do you hold up mentally? Because now you have the stress of facing eviction. What is it, August 31st for you?
Yeah. Um. I just try. Basically sometimes if I could get her to sleep for like 3 or 4 hours, I'll have like a little bit of time to like throw stuff out, clean the cabinet out, put something in boxes and stuff like that. I've been doing that for the last couple months. Um, I just if like I just set up a GoFundMe and put it out to a couple people. You can find me on Twitter at Migrant, Migrin. If anybody can help me out, that would be great. If you can't, I understand. If you have a little extra, please give to Status Coup because you it, it Jordan. I just gotta say you do some amazing work, and it means a lot. I don't know if you get this. You probably get it all the time. It means a lot to a lot of people. You put faces on a lot of these faceless stories that the mainstream media will not cover, because if they did, they would have to put their friends and family in jail and hold them accountable. So, I mean, putting humanity to where humanity is a really good thing in this world. We need more of that, and we're just gonna have to rely on independent media to do that for us right now, anyway. Um, but yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. I've suffered with depression. I don't have health insurance, so I can't get the medicine I need because I was on Adderall. That helped out a lot with being able to focus and stuff. Uh, but I don't try to think about it too much because the main thing is if I start falling apart, then I can't be there for Sarah, and that will only hurt Sarah more. So, I can't let myself go, or else Sarah will go. So, like, there's no way.
Right.
There's no way I can fall apart. And I got I've had problems in my family in the past. Everyone does. It's tough. I had a sister that I had a sister that was kind of nasty and came after me and caused a lot of problems with my family. And it took a while. I didn't talk to my mom and dad for like 5 years because they wouldn't do anything, and it got serious where we were getting threatened to get, someone was threatening to kill us, and nobody was listening. So it's just been one thing after the other. I mean, I don't really want to move. I like it here because it really helps ground me because everybody else is struggling. So you see it on everybody's faces every day. It just makes me feel like I'm not alone. That's why I like living out here. You know.
What does it say to you, Anthony, that the choice right now for someone like you and your wife, who obviously can't take care of herself, is a madman who's growing more and more into a fascist every day, obviously is not going to give Medicare for all or any real relief to someone like you and your wife, or a country club Republican with a D next to his name who proudly says, even if Congress passed Medicare for all, I would veto it.
Yeah, it's all the same club. It's all the same club. It's donor only. It's we the donors, not the people, and we got to change that, or else this is over. It's going to be over. We're getting very close. Hearing about not even people not being able to pay their mortgages. They're not doing anything to help us. The only ones they're helping are their friends and family, which is the donors. So, we get a little cut, but they get the tax cuts. They get to get wealthy. They take care of Wall Street and stuff like that. And what drives me crazy is my father's a Republican. So I'm just like, I'm looking at my father. I'm like, you should be getting paid to be saying stuff like this, taking their side. Like, you're not a millionaire. You don't have millions in the bank. You're not trying to avoid taxes. You're as poor as I am. It really says something. And like, and the thing about it is like, I've been brought up, with, my dad came here from Sicily back in the 40s and stuff. He didn't get his first pair of shoes till he was 7. My grandma, my nana, she came here 3 or 4 years by herself to save up for her family so that they could come over here. I had 4 uncles, 1 aunt that she had to bring over and stuff. And she worked in the garment factory right here in Brooklyn and stuff. Luckily, within a couple of years, it was like 3 or 4 years, there was a family on Knickerbocker that ended up giving her money so that, her and her husband and the kids come over on the boat, and they got here, and my nana was able to work in the garment district, save up enough money for 2 tenement buildings, one on Bleecker, one on Knickerbocker, was able to help all my uncles and my aunt open up careers so that they could have a life over here. Except one uncle who ended up becoming a principal at one of the New York, either a middle school or a high school. I forgot. I was young when before he retired. So, but yeah, they ended up doing that, and it's just amazing. She was able to just working a regular job, was able to save up for 2 tenement buildings, to house a family and collect rent and also work. You can't do that today. Forget about it. As soon as you pop out of college, you're already in a hole. It's just how far deep are you going to be before you can actually start making money, start saving up for something. Forget about retirement. It's over. And and like all we can give and all we can do is because a lot of us are struggling, and we don't have money and stuff like that. But all we can do is just send our love and support and put causes to these problems. Imagine what we can do with universal basic income on top of that. What we could solve. You know what I mean? You can put all your heart now we can all throw into to help solve problems, to help stop, to give people a peace of mind.
Right. Well, I have to say, I don't know if you get this enough, but it's pretty remarkable. I'm not married yet, but obviously marriage is work and has ups and downs, but your love is very, very visible, and it just takes a certain type of individual to be this compassionate and this attentive, and you've basically given up your life out of love for your wife, who unfortunately had this happen to her. So much, much, much admiration for you, and I will gladly tell my audience to contribute to that GoFundMe. It's unfortunate that that's what you have to do. You should be getting the help you need. Your wife should be getting the help you need. But we will drop the link in all over the place to try and give you a little relief. And thanks for sharing the story.
Ask for help. It's not my thing.
Right.
I don't like asking for help. I like helping, but I feel for everyone else. So it's just tough.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Thank you, Jordan, and thank you for the work you do. I've been enjoying it since I caught you on TYT, and now you're doing this thing. I was really excited when you started with stuff. Universal basic income. Think how much better independent media would be, and how much we could get the coverage of what we need, and help the cause we can. But it's donor class only, and then everybody else, and it's horrible. This isn't right. This isn't how we're supposed to be. But if you look at our generation and previous, it's completely different. It just amazes me. But we'll all get through this, hopefully.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
Yo, no problem. Thank you. And I wish all you guys best. Stay safe out there. I worry about you guys every time. Thank you for you have to cover these things, but people really need to realize how much danger you guys put yourself in. It's very commendable. It's real hero work.
Thanks, Ben.
And so thank you again.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com, where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.